Nobody wins when the family feels.
We gon' keep it off. ShooterGang chain in my possession. That was Fleecy fault. They ain't from the hood, they from the grove. Let's keep it.
MG, shout out to got it, he got me righteous. You know what I'm saying? It was a gift. So I don't know the price tag on that. This one right here, I don't know, it fell off the neck. I put it on.
Hey, yo,
so I don't know the price tag on that. Oh, we go with the rollie.
Yeah, let's get it.
On my mama, I think this a stolen item also. You know what I'm saying? Wristwear go brazy. Mary, it's like a Bandicoot or something. What is these? I think Lavins or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yeah, they like a Bandicoot too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like a, what's that, 2,000 and a couple stolen items?
Like a shirt stick, huh? Just like a the bag, I ain't learned shit. Yeah. Huh? Come shine and you get took, nigga. Oh, look.
I roll that brisk up and pour a six up. We tie the kids up, nigga, this a sticker.
Knock him out. We put up the Luciano house. There was no popping out for niggas tucked in Houston living at mommy's. Better watch them out.
The person who may have killed a man in his driveway in Porter. Here are the surveillance photos just released by Montgomery County deputies. Now, this man was seen yesterday driving around in a gray Pontiac sedan, dark tinted windows, and a red Pontiac emblem on the hood. It's thought that this man could be and is armed and dangerous. Investigators think he killed 25-year-old Vyshawn Johnson on Bitterroot Drive yesterday afternoon.
Make it make sense. But I know what led up to that. You know, like nobody knows that Mozzy and Mozzy jumped June on the beat in Texas before they parted ways. Mozzy does what he does. Eric, he sits down and he's like, this is Eric. Eric, he sits down and he's like, he's just staring at everybody. And then, like, everybody's looking. And then something was said. And then Mozzy's like, we started ShooterGang.
Fam, I guess we on politics today. You see, with the world being so big, politics ain't just about the government. It's about structure, power, and influence. And depending on where you live, them politics look different. Today we headed to Sacramento, California, a city where the gang culture runs deep, not just with the blacks, but with the Mexicans too. It's one of them places where the lines between the two worlds sometimes cross. You got black hoods and Mexican sets that coexist. And at times, it even get to the point where the brothers risk their own lives behind Mexican politics. Now this story right here gets wild. It's been a couple of years since a well-known Sac artist, heavy in the streets and well-respected in the music scene, lost his life. But just recently, a suspect was arrested. And that suspect is allegedly tied to one of Sacramento's biggest names, Mozzy. You see, over the years, it was clues being dropped. Diss tracks, music videos, street talk, all pointing to something deeper. And now, the truth is starting to come out. But this story ain't just about rap. It's about politics, loyalty, and betrayal. We're talking about a man who lost his life to somebody who came from the same streets, the same schools, the same city, but went across state lines to gun him down in his mom's driveway. A man who had a brother who made it out, played in the NFL, which we'll later discuss. So in this video, we're breaking down the history, the politics, the culture, and paying our respects to those who lost their lives, while seeing exactly where things stand today. But before we go over this one, I want you guys to remember, I won't give you no angle. I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fam, before we get into the details of this tragic story, you gotta understand Sacramento. It's not just California's capital. It's a city where street politics run as deep as any government office. Every side has their own structure, alliance, and enemies. Unlike LA, where gang borders been drawn for decades, Sacramento's neighborhoods overlap. You'll find Bloods, Crips, Latinos, all within miles of each other, sometimes even within the same schools or families. The rap scene out there reflects the same tension. Artists like Mozzy, Briss, Sally Rue, EBK Young Jock, ShooterGang JoJo, and VJ all helped put the city on the map. But behind the music, the politics never left, and sometimes the beat just made it louder. And from the outside looking in, some say the biggest artist out of Sacramento is a man who's identified as Mozzy, real name Timothy Patterson. Mozzy came straight out of Oak Park, one of the city's most historic and active neighborhoods. He started local, dropping mixtapes that sounded like Raw Street Diaries. Then in 2015, his project, Blah Da Da, changed everything. That tape turned Mozzy into a voice for the trenches. His pain, loyalty, and storytelling cut through.
niggas know me, they know I ain't with the fuckery. You say you need the job done, you know you supposed to come to me. Written for the.
By 2018, he was on tracks with YG, Nipsey Hussle, and Kendrick Lamar, bringing Sacramento's voice to a national stage. But even as he rose, the politics followed him. Oak Park's unity was cracking. Different generations forming new crews, new sides, new ambitions. Mozzy Come Up showed the city it could be done, but it also showed how hard it is to outrun the same energy that raised you. And that's when the younger generation, like ShooterGang VJ, come in. Real name Vyshawn Johnson, was also one of Oak Park's brightest young voices. He was part of the ShooterGang movement, a group connected to Oak Park's newer generation. Energetic, bold, and loyalty. VJ wasn't just a rapper. He was a brother, a son, and a hometown favorite. He came from a family that had already made it. His brother made it to the NFL, showing his family could make a success story regardless. And if that name sound familiar, that's because VJ's older brother is Carl Granderson, defensive end for the New Orleans Saints. Yeah, that's right. Same family, same bloodline. While Carl was making headlines on Sundays for the Saints, VJ was making noise in Sacramento's rap scene. Two brothers from the same roots, both chasing dreams in different worlds.
I roll that brisk and pour a sixer. We tie the kids up, nigga, this a sticker. He got his.
That just show you how close success and struggle really live next to each other. One brother under stadium lights, the other fighting to make it out the trenches. And in the end, both of their stories remind us that no matter how far you go, the past can still find its way home. Back in 2022, a well-known member from ShooterGang got their chain took. It seemed he got into an altercation at a studio, and we'll later hear in full detail what allegedly went on in that video by a woman who's well connected to that side of town, who's now a full-time blogger. Nonetheless, you start seeing videos with Mozzy having a chain on his neck, even having it with his CMG chain, a chain from his label after recently signing to CMG just 2 years ago. Check out a clip from him in the mall.
CMG, shout out to got it, he got me righteous, you know what I'm saying? It was a gift, so I don't know the price tag on that. This one right here, I don't know, it fell off the neck, I put it on, so I don't know the price tag on that. Oh, we go with the Rollie?
Yeah, let's get it.
Oh my mama, I think this a stolen item also. You know what I'm saying? Wristwear go brazy. Mary, it's like a bandicoot or something. What is these? I think Lavins or something like that. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yeah, they like a bandicoot too. So, you know what I'm saying? Like a, what's that, 2,000 and a couple stolen items?
Okay. Test the jewelry since we don't even know if it's yours.
You got it?
Yeah, I got
Come
it.
on, give me
All right,
right.
let's get it. We're going to start with the CMG. We lit.
Okay, we lit.
Okay, the one you stole off the man's neck.
It fell. It actually fell.
Okay, it fell. Okay.
Oh, he lit. Yeah.
All right, let me get the rest.
You know what I'm saying? All right, play with the watch. Make sure.
Now, that chain situation led to Mozzy chains, or affiliates who had Mozzy chains, getting compensated from the other side as well. They went to Instagram and started to post, and it led to a back and forth.
Like a surf stick, huh? Just like a perm kiss. The bag, I ain't learned shit. Yeah. Huh? Come shine and you get took, nigga. On on my first lick. Had me addicted to that.
Oh, clarities. Little clarities. Little boogers. It's not even.
But here's where things got deadly. The night everything changed, in November of 2023, a tragedy hit hard. Vyshawn ShooterGang VJ Johnson was shot and killed in front of his mother's home in her own driveway in Porter, Texas. Authorities say he had recently relocated, trying to focus on music and family. But even 100 miles away, old tension seems to follow. That night, multiple shots were fired. By the time paramedics arrived, it was too late. He lost his life. May he rest in peace and loving condolences to his family.
The person who may have killed a man in his driveway in Porter. Here are the surveillance photos just released by Montgomery County deputies. Now, this man was seen yesterday driving around in a gray Pontiac sedan, dark tinted windows, and a red Pontiac emblem on the hood. It's thought that this man could be and is armed and dangerous. Investigators think he killed 25-year-old Vyshawn Johnson on Bitterroot Drive yesterday afternoon. They do believe the suspect and victim knew each other and that they were in a fight, but we do not know. We're going to find out at this point what they were fighting about.
Now for years, no arrest would be made for VJ's demise, and people always wonder, what did he do to make people want to make him a target in front of his mom's home? But shortly after, Mozzy didn't let up, still wearing the ShooterGang's chain. He made a questionable quote in a song featuring Shorty Shorty titled Tell the Truth.
We put up the Luciano house, there was no popping out. For niggas tucked in used to living at mommy's, better watch them out.
Now, before we talk about the arrests, you gotta understand how deep these connections go, fam. Because both Mozzy and ShooterGang come from Oak Park, the same soil. See, Mozzy rep 4 Ave Park, pushing HellGang, while ShooterGang JoJo and VJ held down their side of Oak Park under ShooterGang banner. It's all Oak Park, just different branches of the same tree. At one point it was all love, music, brotherhood, shared roots. But as time went on, pride, fame, and loyalty lines started to divide the same neighborhood. So when VJ was killed, it wasn't outsiders who came for him. It was something born within Sacramento's own circle. That's what made this one hit home. Oak Park politics turned inward. After nearly 2 years of silence, the case finally broke open. In June of 2025, detectives with the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office Major Crimes Unit and the Gangs Investigations Unit, working hand in hand with Sacramento's police and Sacramento's County Sheriff's Office, announced the arrest of 2 men from Sacramento. The first was 31-year-old lled Shrugs, who picked up in Sacramento on June 25, 2025. He was extradited to Texas and booked into the Montgomery County Jail, charged for his alleged role in VJ's murder. Whether he cooperated or not, only time would tell. Then on October 7, 2025, a Texas grand jury handed down an indictment for 28-year-old Trayvon Oates, better known in the rap world as Marco Mula. Oates is also from Sacramento and was already locked up on an unrelated California murder charge when the indictment had dropped. Once that case wraps, he'll be extradited to Texas to face these charges. And when that news dropped, people outside of Sacramento was at shock because people know Marco Mula as a close affiliate to Mozzy.
The dragon bitch, I bang with a passion, new lows can't be lacking. Take a trip, let's make it happen. Keep it stitched lit.
Now when this news had broke less than 48 hours ago, a popular Sacramento-based blogger had went to Instagram and said the following: I can't believe Mozzy really sent the bliss on VJ. Now all you out-of-town content creators that want to chime in, stay out of Sacramento politics. Mozzy knows what it is with me. Her name is Jalisi. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If I'm not, I apologize, baby girl. But she went on No Jumper a couple months ago before this news had broke, and she briefly spoke on the situation between VJ and Mozzy and how his chain was confiscated in the studio after an altercation. Check out what she had to say.
Over there just waving the Mozzy flag, just like rooting for the home team, or are you more like objectively just observing
No.
this shit?
I was definitely waving the home team flag. I was definitely Mozzy. We were opening his shows. Well, I wasn't, but I was with, who I was friends with at the time. We were opening his shows. We were in the mix. Like definitely, like when we were all through Oakland, you couldn't drive down the street in Oakland or San Francisco without hearing Mozzy at that time.
Fact.
So definitely, I was definitely on the Mozzy bandwagon for sure. And then what took it, now, today, no.
Today, no. Today, no.
Today, no.
But back then,
yeah.
When did you have a change of heart?
I want to say when ShooterGang Coney got his chain confiscated.
Okay, I love you always say confiscated instead of stole or took.
Confiscated. It was confiscated. So, I think that's more.
So you have personal allegiances with ShooterGang?
Absolutely.
Ah, okay. So that's where your heart truly lies.
Unfortunately.
Okay. But
and with BOE too, though.
Okay. But do you feel like that's you being objective and fair about it? Because I hear you clowning young Jock for allegedly getting his chain confiscated. But now you're over here saying your heart was going out to Coney?
Well, I clowned EBK Young Jock. But then, after 3 months of the trolling, I said, okay, let's hang it up. Okay, we're going to keep talking about this. It's getting old. Every rappers get violated every day, victimized every day. Okay, EBK Young Jock is not the only rapper. So, with ShooterGang Coney, it was deeper than the surface. It was make it make sense. But I know what led up to that. Nobody knows that Mozzy and Mozzy jumped June on the beat in Texas before they parted ways. Nobody knows that. I never exposed that. So it's so when June finally started to tell his side of the story, and then he started to come for me, I'm like, I didn't even tell everybody what really happened between you two.
Everybody who was involved always, I ain't gonna lie, I wondered what happened with June and Mozzy, because they just was on everything together and they just separated. And me, for me being an LA nigga who love the music, and like, damn, you see the whole thing switched. I don't see no more June on the beats. And it was silence for a long time. Was it already known, like, in Sac, what happened?
No. Well, if you were somebody in Oak Park, you knew what happened. You had to have been somebody. So we knew, but the media, the fans, the people didn't know. And it's like, it's more to that story. So with ShooterGang, Coney, and Mozzy, I seen the tension coming. It wasn't, so when it happened, it wasn't, but I feel like Mozzy waited until like certain individuals were gone to do it. But him doing that, he forgot who was still a part of ShooterGang that still had some type of say so in regards to the politics in Oak Park, in regards to Zilla or whatever the case may be. So Mozzy's really Zilla. But when he did that to Coney, it was when everybody was either passing away, going to jail for a long time. Like, I feel like, and it really wasn't Mozzy. I feel like Mozzy was venting to Mozzy. And then like Mozzy was just like, okay, we're in the studio. Okay, like they literally come to the studio. No, I'm telling you guys this. This is what happened.
Okay,
they come to the studio. Okay, they come. ShooterGang Coney, ShooterGang Fleecy, Ezzy Marcus. He's with some people from Frank Lone. They're already in the studio in LA. Mozzy and Mozzy come to the studio with B.O.E. Mumu. They all come to the studio. And then Mozzy comes and he sits down. Mozzy does what he does. Eric. And he sits down and he's like,
this is Eric.
Eric. And he sits down and he's like, he's just staring at everybody. And then like everybody's looking. And then something was said. And then Mozzy's like, we started ShooterGang. And then ShooterGang Fleecy just comes in. Boom! Like, and then Mozzy, and then here comes Mozzy coming for ShooterGang Coney, and then it just was a mess. So yeah. So then Ezzy Marcus is trying to break it up, and
you're there?
No.
Or you just heard about it?
No, I heard. I know exactly what happened. Like both sides told the same story.
Okay.
So I know it's factual. I mean, some might have twisted it a little bit, but
right.
So that yeah.
Yeah, because the last time I interviewed ShooterGang Coney, it was
he
like,
didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, I didn't know enough to be able to press him and be like, okay, tell me what really happened. You know, but
Yeah.
like, I had like a little tiny. I'm like, oh, okay, he fell out with Mozzy. He doesn't wear the chain anymore. So I like asked him about it, but I let him get away with like giving me like a bullshit answer, which fair enough. You know, you're not supposed to talk about street shit, so that's cool. But
I've seen that. I've seen that. He didn't want to really talk about it. And no, that's what happened. And it that is the reason why there's bloodshed in Oak Park until this day. And it's not gonna stop. It was all because of that chain.
Really? It can all go back to that, damn.
It's always gonna go back to that.
Wow. Crazy.
Now, I know that was a lot, but I hope I broke it down to a T for at least people who not from Sacramento can get to where we going with this video based on the public facts. And at the end of the day, you can call it what you want, but this story ain't just about rap. It's about how success, pain, and loyalty all collide with the same blocks that raised you, become the ones that take you. ShooterGang VJ was a talented young man from Oak Park with family in the lead and music in his heart. To lose your life right outside your mother home, that's pain that never heals. And what makes it harder is knowing everybody involved come from the same streets. That's not gang war, that's heartbreak. So when we talk about Sacramento politics, this is what it means to me. It's more than colors, it's family, history, and choices that ripple for generations. Rest in peace to the victim once again. Love and condolences to his family. Prayers to anyone who was affected by the story we just covered and talked about. Every artist watching this, remember, it ain't about where you from. It's about how far you willing to go to break free from it. Fam, this was the story of a young man being allegedly gunned down in front of his mom's home by a crew from his own neighborhood after his homie chain was took going on a tour by his alleged enemies. Talk to me in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And today, I'll catch you guys on the next one.